Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. So, today we'll be talking on types of addiction. I know for some of us, when we hear the term addiction or addicts, the picture that comes up in our mind is someone who smokes or someone who injects one form of drug or the other. By the end of this clip, we would come to see that every human endeavor could become an addiction if taken to the extreme. Food could become addiction. Um, Work could become an addiction. Making money could become an addiction. Sex could become an addiction. Every normal human endeavor could become an addiction. So there are two major classes of addiction. There is substance addiction and there is behavioral addiction. For substance addiction, common ones are addictions to alcohol, alcoholism, addiction to tobacco, which is cigarettes, addiction to opioids. Common opioid of addiction are morphine, pentazocine, and codeine. Then it could also be addiction to cannabis. There is the weed, the commonly known weed, which is an organic cannabis. Then there is Colorado, which is synthetic. Then it could also be to stimulants like caffeine, methamphetamine, and the likes. Now there is behavioral addiction. The common one is addiction. It's gambling. Gambling is a form of addiction. Those who play the entirety of their life in Niger Bet and other betting area centers. Some persons take their salary and straightforward they are going to bet the whole of it away because there is that high of I'm a win, and every little win makes them feel really good. Even the excitement of going to win and the possibility of going to bet and the possibility of I'm a win is also a rush which gets them into that loop of addiction. Then there's addiction to social media. Those who are always on one form of social media or the other, from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram and the likes. They are seated with you, they are talking to you, and they are also on the phone. They are talking to you and they are reaching for the phone. They are trying to eat or do whatever it is, and they are still on the social media. Some persons see it as a way of passing time. Really, it could be a way of passing time, but it could also become an addiction. Then there is addiction to gaming. There are those who can be seated 8 hours on a game. There's addiction to gaming. They don't go out. They would miss appointments. They will miss important activities just in order to be seated and gaming. So gaming could become a form of behavioral addiction. There's addiction to shopping. The so-called shopaholics, they run into debt just to buy the next dress, the next shoe. They have so much clothes, so much shoes, so much bags, and they still want some more. And many of the things they even buy, they don't really use them. But the excitement of I just got something new, it makes you feel good for as long as that will last. Sometimes it's days, sometimes it's weeks. Then they're on the lookout again for the next best thing that will fill the void. So shopping could become a form of addiction. Then the exercise could become a form of addiction. There are those who will just, if it's jogging, they can jog the whole day just because there's that rush that comes from exercise. So they keep craving that high as a way of filling some void, some emotional void. Then food, we said any normal human endeavor could become an addiction taken to the extreme. There's food addiction. They are not happy, they want to eat. They are restless, they want to eat. They are very happy, they want to eat. Eating is no longer about whether I am hungry or I am not. It's not whether I am full or I'm not full. Is now an emotional connection between the food and themselves. You see some of such persons so obese and with a lot of health challenges, and it's still difficult for them to stop eating. So at that point, food has become a form of addiction. Sex is a form of addiction in which we have addiction to pornography, and addiction to masturbation, and addiction to sex itself. So that could also be a form of addiction. Then addiction to TV. Those who would watch series can watch 12 series in one sitting. It could be a form of addiction. Then work is a respectable endeavor, but it could also become a form of addiction. There are those who would they will work at work and still work at home. Work is tearing the home apart. It's tearing the marriage apart. You don't see them. They don't have any social life. It's just they are constantly thinking about work. When they are with you, they are contemplating how they are going to get some more projects done. It sounds like these persons are respectable. But the downside is someone pays the price for this. Either the marriage pays the price, or the children pays the price, or their health pays the price. Something would always pay the price for workaholism. So why we discuss this is for us to have an intentional reflection. One may think, oh, I don't have opioid addiction, I don't smoke marijuana, or whatever it is that is smoked or injected. Could it be to work? Could it be to social media? What is it that you're taking to the extreme that you really need to adjust or address? What is it that you're using to fill some void in your life that you need to look at critically and see where amendments needs to be made? So I invite us to have a self-reflection and see where changes need to be made. Till I see you next time, please stay sober.